Well, a very good morning to all my students present here. I am Ruby Singh and I'm presently teaching at Bal Bharati Public School, Noida as a PGT Commerce. And I've been into this line for past 10 years. I did my graduation from Jesus and Mary College where I was the university topper. Thereafter, I did my master's in commerce from Delhi School of Economics and followed by B.Ed from Central Institute of Education. And today I'm standing here in front of you all. I hope my future entrepreneurs discussing about what business is. Now, when we talk about this term business, immediately that word comes to any layman's mind is profit maximization. कि अगर मुझे बिजनेस करना है तो मेरा मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू मैक्सिमाइज माय प्रॉफिट्स. Now, for a layman, it's all right to think like that if I am aiming to maximize my profits, that's the only objective that I'm looking at. But we as students of business, we must try and understand that this is only one of the objectives of the business, the prime objectives of the business, but not the only objective of the business. Clear? Now, I think you must have done it in your class 9 and your class 10. When we start off our business, what all do we require? We require land, labor, capital. फैक्ट्री शुरू करना है, लैंड चाहिए, राइट? दुकान लगाना है, उसके लिए भी लैंड चाहिए. Clear? We want labor, we want workers, employees, right? Now, all these inputs, कहाँ से आते हैं ये हमारे पास? All these inputs we are going to get it from society. Society or our business environment. Clear? Now, my question to you is, business का main rule क्या है? That it is a give and take relationship. अगर आपको कुछ प्रोडक्ट खरीदना है तो उसके लिए आपको पैसा देना पड़ता है, right? So the same rule applies over here also. If the business is taking so many inputs, taking rather everything from the society, does it not become its prime responsibility to give back to the society? Here I am discussing about social responsibility of the business. And the main assumption, the basic assumption on which the social responsibility works is that business organization respects the aspirations or expectations of the society from the business and is going to work towards fulfilling of these expectations and aspirations in return of whatever it has taken from the society. ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आप इफ यू डू नॉट कैरी आउट योर सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज बिजनेस शुरू नहीं कर सकते. यू स्टार्ट ऑफ अ बिजनेस, राइट? इन द फर्स्ट ईयर, सेकेंड ईयर you earn profits, but if you fail to discharge, if you fail to give back to the society, you will not be able to carry out your business successfully for a long period of time. Now, let's talk about, when we talk about business, there are different interest groups. Now, इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप से मेरा मतलब है कि जिनका कुछ वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट है बिजनेस में. अब वो कौन कौन से हैं? When we talk about business, workers. आपको अगर एक एम्प्लॉय, if he is joining an organization, right? Do you think that employee is going to work with you only for the salary that you're giving him for his services offered? Well, many of you may think yes, but that's not the case. If I am today working with Bal Bharati Public School, Noida, and I've been working there for quite some time, my association with the school is not only because they are giving me my salary as per the scale. It is also because the school is giving me ample number of opportunities for my growth. It is providing me ample amount of training for further development, right? It is giving me other facilities. It is giving me just the right congenial environment where any normal person would want to work. So अगर वर्कर की एसोसिएशन एक कंपनी के साथ है, एक बिजनेस के साथ है, देर आर अ नंबर ऑफ फैक्टर्स, देर आर अ नंबर, वर्कर जो है अपनी पूरी ही इज गिविंग हिज स्किल टू द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, he is giving his skill to the organization. In return, the organization not only has to give him the monetary benefit, but alongside there are other factors also which are to be taken into account. Now, what are those factors? How about providing for free education for his children? How about giving him a medical cover? Right? How about giving your leave travel concession? Now, these are the added advantages which are going to basically motivate that employee to give his best to the organization. उसको लगेगा अगर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मेरे लिए इतना सोच रही है तो मेरी ये प्राइम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बन जाती है दैट आई हैव टू वर्क टू द बेस्ट ऑफ माई एबिलिटीज फॉर द सक्सेस ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. देन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड द एम्प्लॉय, दे डू नॉट रिमेन टू सेपरेट एंटिटीज, they become one because they are working towards the pursuance of one common objective, right? Then second interest group that I talk about is customer. Now yahan pe agar hum bolein that when I talk about burgers, okay, the only brand name that comes to my mind is McDonald's. Pizzas, Domino's. Right? Mobile phones, Apple, Sony. Why? Why is it? It is because of the quality of the product that these brands have been delivering that we associate a product with a particular brand. Why is it not that when I talk about pizzas, I don't think of Nirala's? Because I, as a customer, again, I come back to the same point. It is a give and take relationship. I don't mind spending 50 rupees on buying a mere burger, but I should get the value for those 50 rupees. That is my hard-earned money that I've spent on purchasing that burger. So, in order, again, यहाँ पे भी हमें long-term relationship की तरफ aim करना है when we're talking about a customer. It is not that once you are looking at a customer, you're looking at a long-term relationship. It should not be a one-time purchase. मैं चाहूंगी कि अगर उसने आज ये खरीदा, he is going to go and talk about my product to 10 different people, right? And appreciate that although the product might be a little expensive, but it is worth the price that I pay. It is worth the price. Every single penny that I have paid, I don't regret paying that. So that is the kind of the relationship that I am aiming at. So it becomes business's responsibility to deliver quality products at the right time, right? And at the right price. If a product does not reach the customer at the right time, okay, then it loses its value. So this is also an important responsibility of the business to provide the right product at the right price at the right time. Clear? Then the third interest group that when we talk about is my suppliers. Now, who are suppliers? Suppliers will basically cover the supplier of your raw materials. Now, we all know that in business, normally 90% of the transactions, they are done on credit basis. Fine. So, वो मुझे टाइम पे रॉ मटेरियल दे रहे हैं जब मुझे ज़रूरत है अपना प्रोडक्ट बनाने के लिए, तो मेरी क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है एज अ बिजनेस टुवर्ड्स माई सप्लायर दैट आई मेक देयर पेमेंट एज एंड व्हेन इट बिकम्स ड्यू. As and when it becomes due. Because if this is not done, अगर आप किसी की पेमेंट रोक के रखते हैं, पेमेंट देने में डिले करते हैं, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि आगे चल के वो सप्लायर आपके साथ काम करना चाहेगा? नो. So basically the interest of the business is कि अपने सारे इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप्स, जितने भी लोग हैं, जितने भी इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप्स हम कवर कर रहे हैं, वी आर एमिंग एट एस्टैब्लिशिंग अ लॉन्ग लास्टिंग रिलेशनशिप विद ऑल आवर इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप्स, बिकॉज business cannot work in isolation. It cannot work in isolation. It gets its identity from the various interest groups and it has to take everyone along with it. Clear? So, another interest groups, let's take, we talk about government. Now, what is business's social responsibility, or what is business's responsibility towards the government? Government ne, keeping consumers' interests in mind, or keeping the businessman's interests in mind, it has framed certain rules and regulations, certain taxation policies. Fine. So it becomes the prime responsibility of the business to abide by all the rules and regulations that have been framed by the government. बिकॉज इफ इट फेल्स टू डू सो, अगर तो आपने जैसे गवर्नमेंट ने आपके लिए जो रूल्स रेगुलेशंस बनाए हैं, जितना टैक्सेस पे करना है, ड्यूटीज पे करना है, इफ यू आर गोइंग ऑन जस्ट द राइट वे, यू नो पेइंग ऑल योर टैक्सेस एंड ड्यूज राइट ऑन टाइम, द गवर्नमेंट विल नेवर इंटरवीन. The government will never intervene and you will be able to operate freely. But the minute you deviate, the minute you fail to pay your tax or any particular duty, or you have not followed a particular rule or regulation set by the government, then the government gets into picture. Then the government gets into picture wherein, hello, you are going wrong. So in order to avoid any kind of government interference, it becomes important for the organization to abide by all the rules and regulations which have been set by the government, because they are not only in the interest of the society at large, they are in the interest of the business enterprise as well. Fine. Then coming to, we talk about our competitors. Now you would be thinking that how can the competitors be an interest group for the company? Again, till the time there is no competition in the market, the best doesn't come out. अगर एक सिंगल सेलर की मोनोपोली है, एक सिंगल सेलर की मोनोपोली है, so you will never find much of a change or innovation in the product. Why? Because उसको कोई खतरा ही नहीं है, because he is the single seller in the market. Whatever he'll sell, people will be forced to buy that. Right? So when there is competition in the market, it leads to innovations in the product, right? It leads to newer inventions. So business's responsibility towards its competitors is to indulge in healthy competition. It is to indulge in healthy competition. We should not resort to illegal ways. We should not resort to illegal ways to compete with our competitors. Now I'll take another. We talked about different interest groups: workers, customers, suppliers, government, and competitors. Coming back to workers, here I'd like to quote an example that is of your Hindustan Insecticides. Now they are into the business of manufacturing pesticides. Now in the process of manufacturing pesticides, certain chemicals or certain fumes are released, as a result of which quite a number of employees of this organization, they suffer from tuberculosis. Now you tell me, as an individual, would you want to work in such an organization who's paying you a hefty amount for the services that you're offering to the organization, but in return, what are you getting? You're getting an ailment. No one would want to work for such an organization. Now, this becomes the prime responsibility of this organization to take certain steps, to rectify this damage that it has done. Right? Now, how is it going to do that? Maybe by providing them some kind of masks, right? Maybe by making them wearing some oxygen masks so that they do not inhale the fumes which are so poisonous, which are going to lead to tuberculosis. Another example in the same light, we talk about, there's this place in Uttar Pradesh, Firozabad, which is known for manufacturing of glass bangles. right? Especially the hollow glass bangles. Now, in order to make the glass hollow, right, there has to be a pressure of air which has to be put in so as to create that hollow. Now, this is not done with the help of any machinery. There's a person employed to do that, right? That poor fellow, although he's getting a salary, he's being paid to do that. He's being paid to do that, but in the process of blowing that air, he inhales some particles of glass. It may go to his lungs, it may go to his entire system, his stomach. You can very well imagine the kind of damage this guy is subjecting his body to. Is it worth it? No. If my organization is only giving me a salary, a monetary benefit, is it worth it? The employer is not even bothered about the ailment that I'm going to suffer from. No one will be interested to work with such an organization. So therefore, we arrive at a conclusion that done, business in the process of production gives many positive things to the society. It gives you the products, it gives you experiences, but at the same time, it also leaves behind certain negative impact, which is unavoidable. Fine. As in this case of manufacturing pesticides, we cannot avoid those fumes from releasing, but at least I can provide a guard to my employee so that he doesn't inhale those fumes. So therefore, it becomes important for every business organization to take into account that I am not only there to maximize the profits, my employees' health is equally important to me because they are my most important assets. Similarly, my aim should not be to sell maximum number of the products by adopting whatever means, right? Because I may be able to do that for the first time, but the second time the customer will not be willing to buy my product. So I have to look at the long-term relationship that I'm trying to establish with all the interest groups. Social responsibility is more of a voluntary activity. It is no one forces you to do that. No one forces you to be good to your employees. No one forces you to deliver quality products to your customers, right? No one forces you to abide by the laws. It is voluntary in nature. If voluntarily you are behaving in a manner, you are behaving in a socially responsible manner, you are bound to take this relationship of yours with your customers, with your employees, with your suppliers, with the government for a long period of time. That is what the main objective of the business is. So we conclude by saying that profit maximization remains the prime objective of any business. Profit maximization remains the prime objective of any business, but in the pursuance of this objective of profit maximization, the business should not overlook its responsibility towards the various interest groups. That is, your customers, your employees, your competitors, your suppliers, and your government. Because if you do so, you are going to take this relationship, you are aiming at developing a long-lasting relationship. Thank you. I think I hope I have made my point clear, and I've been able to explain to you all that how important is it for the business to act in a socially responsible manner. Thank you.